So in recent times, we got two Un-carrier moves from T-Mobile almost back to back. So the first one was all about home internet and further accelerating growth on wireless. And of course, that's going to help them with the ARPA and the ARPU. You get home internet, you bundle that with the Magenta Max, you now get the home internet for $30. So that is another strategic way to grow the business and grow the ARPU and the ARPA. And then recently, June 16th, we got the announcement of the in-flight Wi-Fi for the entire flight for free, the additional roaming in the other countries, and then we got the 25 cents off for the Shell gas stations. So the reason I titled this video "Any Concerns" is because T-Mobile across the board is set to grow. They are positioned to grow. Now there's upside in other segments that they never really penetrated and that they weren't good in: business, rural, and then of course the home broadband market. But there is a segment that they grew into the leading share, which is the urban, some the suburban as well. And even in those markets, they're now positioned to continue growing. So that growth is going to lead to more demand on the network, and that's where the concerns come in. Towards the end of LTE, the demand outgrew the network capacity. It just did. It was terrible. 2017, 2018, that LTE network was smoking. Literally, it was screaming for help. And T-Mobile just didn't have the resources to build an underlying small cell network, because that's what it would have needed. And I mean, at scale, in like the markets like LA, where they had almost 60% share, in my market where they have over 50, they would have needed way more small cells just to keep the network afloat. Now, of course, they got the spectrum, so now it's a different ball game. But as they grow more share in LA, which they will, they are positioned to grow. And we don't know where the inflation is going to go. So people are going to start looking more closely at their bills each and every quarter, and they're going to see what they can cut. And a lot of those people are going to look at T-Mobile. It's just naturally going to happen. And that's why T-Mobile is positioned the way they are, because they know that's what's going to happen. The price lock, that was a smart move to make, especially during these times. So now T-Mobile is transitioning, right? They're adding, I can't say the number. I was told not to say publicly, but they're adding many people into 5G devices on a weekly basis. So that transition is happening quick. So they want to be an all 5G business very quickly. And the reason that benefits them is because a lot of these businesses out there, they weren't even doing any dealings with them. So when these new businesses now jump on board with T-Mobile, they're going to get them into 5G devices. Tablets, phones, whatever is needed, T-Mobile is going to make it happen to get them into 5G. That's why it makes sense for T-Mobile to go to an all 5G business so soon. Because during LTE, they didn't have a lot of partnerships. They didn't have a lot of government stuff going on. They didn't have a lot of big business. So now they're going to convert very quickly and get these businesses onto their 5G network. Now, all the 5G network is, it's not that the LTE network was bad or it wasn't quite there. It was just they didn't have the fuel, the additional spectrum to really support the additional growth that they've been able to obtain since back then. But now they're going to continue growing. So the concerns are, is the demand going to outgrow the network again? Or is T-Mobile better positioned with more spectrum, more fuel, and now they do have the ability to add those small cells if they so choose to at a good clip. So that's going to kind of be, because right now I'm being told priority is coverage. Speed increases, not so much anymore. It's more prioritized towards coverage now. There will still be N41 ads. They're still going to do the backhaul stuff, but that's already set in stone. They've already close those contracts. So now it's a percentage of, okay, 40% of the network is now 10 gig. That'll go to 60. It's that type, because there's two parts involved. Network side, T-Mobile mostly has their circuits and routers upgraded to 10 gig. Now, from a third party perspective, they have to wait for them to upgrade the end of their systems to get 10 gig to the sites. Some can't even do it at all, but some are ready for it. So they have to do what they have to do, which is, T-Mobile has to rely on them and their time frame to get that done. So that's going to naturally just happen, and that's why we are seeing more speeds over a gig, because they're now getting that backhaul ready. And I know that was a problem in my area when one of the Sprint Keep sites was converted. It was a backhaul issue. The Sprint backhaul that was there was terrible. It was dirty. So T-Mobile had to get, new backhaul onto the site, and they had to get that fixed. And it's been fixed since, but it's not something that T-Mobile can just, hey, let's go do it. No, they have to rely on the third party, and when they are able to do it. So from that perspective, are there any concerns? Because T-Mobile is going to keep growing. They're just positioned to. In this quarter, there's going to be a lot of switchers for the iPhone. They're going to go to T-Mobile. A good amount are going to go to T-Mobile. The fourth quarter, the holiday season, a good amount are going to go to T-Mobile. And if the gas prices are going to go the way they're going to go, more people are going to end up on T-Mobile, and everything else going up as well. And that's just how T-Mobile positioned themselves. So the concerns are, again, is the demand going to outgrow the network? Is the network going to slow down? Everybody's getting into 5G now. I saw the numbers. It's happening at an insane clip weekly. People are migrating and upgrading to 5G on T-Mobile. So that puts more strain on N41. It just does. So as that happens, the Sprint Keep sites, and I've said this in a video before, there's just not enough of them per market. In my market, for example, they converted 3. And then they just filed for 1 more that they're going to work on. So that's 4 total Sprint sites that were converted to T-Mobile. Yeah, it added additional capacity and indoor coverage for that area. But across the market, they're still operating technically the same grid. They just threw a little bit more spectrum on it, but they're operating the same grid. So as they continue to grow the share, and they are, and they will, there's going to be people here from Verizon and AT&T that are going to go to T-Mobile. Especially now that they operate home internet, there's an incentive to do it. You get the home internet for $30, it's cheaper, and then your wireless bill is likely going to get cut in half, depending on the deal that T-Mobile has at that time. They got third lines free, they got 20% off here, they got this deal, they got that deal. It's just, the company is just structured and set to grow. That's how they're set, and now even more accelerated because of the times that we're in. So if they don't grow, it's literally going to be a failure for that quarter. The analysts, the market, they're going to, if they don't grow to the estimates or above the estimates, that's a dud for T-Mobile. They're done. That's going to be a negative. The stock's going to go down. The analysts are going to bash. They have to grow, because that's their way to growing the ARPU and the ARPA. That's the only way. They can't charge more. They kind of back themselves into that corner that if they charge more, there's going to be people that are just going to go to Verizon and AT&T and say, screw it. By perception, we're going with the better network. T-Mobile's not there yet on the perception. So let me know in the comment section if you have any concerns on this growth. And trust me, on a per market basis, the growth is more than others, of course. But in a lot of these markets like Los Angeles, California, especially, because there's a lot of, grass. Gas is going up, and it's even more, higher in California. So more people are inclined to switch to T-Mobile, and same in El Paso, the gas is going up. We're the most expensive gas in the state of Texas. So more people are going to look into T-Mobile, and many other places in the United States as well. So let me know if you have any concerns. Leave all your comments in the comment section. Make sure you guys like, share, subscribe to the channel. Follow my social media outlets for more updates. This is Tyrone with Tech Life. See you in the next one. Peace.